Hi, my name is Samantha Chutkin, and today I will be talking about nonprofit financing. So, a little bit about the interviewee. His name is Wayne Chutkin, and he works at a 501c3 hospital named Mount Sinai Medical Center located in Miami, Florida. So, a little bit about his role in the organization. He works in accounting/finance administration, and describes his duties within the organization as helping to protect and manage the assets of Mount Sinai Medical Center. So their primary source of revenue is from their patient services, and followed closely is donations from foundations actually, but first we're going to talk about individual donors. So there are individual donors, and there are also options to become a member, and membership fee is a one-time payment of $50,000. And when I asked Wayne what one possible vulnerability of the organization would be, he said that there is a reliance on government grants that could be reduced. And then back to foundations. This is the greatest source of funding outside of patient services foundation grants. So Mount Sinai Medical Center doesn't have too many fundraising activities, like many nonprofits host galas and other fundraising events, but Mount Sinai doesn't really do that. They mostly just focus on private solicitations from individual donors, so they'll reach out to their donors at least twice a year. And if if you make a very large donation, you may be able to put your name on hallways or buildings within the hospital. So, as discussed in the book and in the lectures, a good relationship and good communication between employees of the organization and the board is essential to the success of the organization. And so, according to Wayne, some communications between the administration and the board at Mount Sinai include keeping them up to date on hospital activities and successes, and also strategic planning initiatives to make sure that everybody is on the same page as far as the vision for the future, organizational objectives, and goals for the future. And finally, they discuss compliance. They want to ensure that the organization is remaining in compliance with laws and regulations, such as, because they are a hospital, HIPAA, and in terms of finance, GAAP, or generally accepted accounting principles. In the book, under the financing section, we also talked about the importance of preventing fraud within the organization, especially when you have an organization that has large amounts of assets. So one key action to preventing fraud, according to Bain, is the separation of duties, meaning tasks are distributed among multiple people or multiple parties instead of just one person handling most of the finances. So this will just reduce the likelihood of fraud and ensure that an ethical environment remains within the organization. So another key aspect of preventing fraud is auditing. So Mount Sinai uses an external audit accounting firm that conducts an annual audit. They do with Deloitte, and this financial audit will also help evaluate the financial position of the organization. So just to wrap up and make some connections between this interview and our course, I do want to discuss week 9, which is the financing section of this class. So During week 9, we watched a TED Talk from Cara Logan, and she discussed how important it is not to be afraid to reach out to donors, because in order to be as effective as possible with fundraising means building good relationships with the donors to increase donor retention rates and, ensure that your donors continue to have a good view of the organization. Moving on, we discussed in lecture how important it is for organizations to have their own unique fundraising processes. So Mount Sinai's organization, which doesn't, do many events and galas, might be different from another organization that does, or a smaller organization who doesn't have a lot of individual donors, etc. And that ties to the reading. Both the TED Talk and the lecture tie to the reading through, the importance of solicitation and having a competent staff and informed board. And these things are just essential to good financial management within the organization. And that is all. Thank you so much.